The Moro arc is not only iconic for its introduction of the villain Moro, but finally Majin Buu getting his well-deserved spotlight as well as more information about the Yadrats. It's obviously well known across the anime communities and the internet. In fact, is the very arc that we'll be covering today. Now let's get into it. The Moro arc, otherwise known as the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga, begins with a one short page recap of the Broly arc. But then, it's back to training for both Goku and Vegeta, training they do in the Gravity Room. They do talk as they spar, and truthfully, it's really fun to see the dynamic between the two Saiyans. That being said, they are called away by Bulma. She explains that a distress call came from Mr. Satan's detailing that an unknown gang was trying to kidnap Good Boo. Mr. Satan tries to shoot at the kidnappers, which feels hilarious in its rights considering that they're very clearly aliens. A Glock isn't going to do anything. However, both Goku and Vegeta arrive, much to Mr. Satan's relief. They attempt to rescue Boo, but they are subdued by the kidnapper. It's important to note that the alien knows of Goku and Vegeta, but both Saiyans don't know who the alien even is. But I must admit, seeing two powerful Saiyans being taken down by just a stun gun, a futuristic one, yeah, but still a stun gun, feels a bit cheap. It's clearly for plot, but I think something else could have been cooler, especially considering what we learned about Miras later. Goku and Vegeta are taken to HQ for the Galactic Patrol, where it's revealed Miras, the mysterious alien from before, needs the assistance of the Grand Supreme Kai in order to recapture an escaped prisoner. Jocko is also present, but I'm rather biased to him considering his design reminds me so much of Astro Boy. Anyway, we then flash back to 10 million years ago. Supreme Kai and South Supreme Kai are engaged in a battle with someone powerful enough to send a shower of comets and absorb an entire planet. As in, the very life force of it, the planet ceased to exist. Not only this, but they even consume the planet. The powerful person Supreme Kai and South Supreme Kai are facing none other than Moro. I must admit his entrance is dramatic. I like the theatrical mystics of him. He is introduced in a fight, but it's done in a way that's still impactful. Anyway, this isn't Moro's first rodeo, considering he has destroyed 320 planets, so clearly more than a hobby for him. The situation for Supreme Kai and Supreme Kai of the South appears to be almost hopeless. However, Supreme Kai reveals that he has a technique to steal Moro's magic. This technique will come at a cost though. He'll lose up all his godly power. The risk does pay off. Moro is captured but is so powerful that he couldn't be killed. Therefore, he had a life sentence. He spent 10 million years locked up before recently escaping. In fact, Miras mentions in that escaping of Moro has likely regained his magic. It's a bizarre explanation for why they need Boo, but regardless, I do enjoy even flashbacks of him. There is a bit of a problem though. Supreme Kai was absorbed by Majin Buu. Miras explains that they need to extract Supreme Kai from Majin Buu. Unfortunately, Buu is still asleep. Poor guy sleeps so soundly that it could be a while before he's up and about, meaning Moro may have more time to eat planets. Goku, being who he is, offers to help and volunteers. Vegeta as well. Vegeta has some inner thoughts concerning Miras and the stun gun, but to be quite honest, it feels like a cop-out for a plot. That being said, this won't only be instance of necessity for plot. In order to properly assist, Vegeta and Goku are named as special members of the Galactic Patrol. Their positions are only temporarily as they lose them once as Moro is recaptured. Afterwards, Miras is pulled away because of the Macarene siblings stealing something. both Goku and Vegeta accompany him to planet Jung. There we see the Makarine siblings in the middle of a train robbery. What exactly are they stealing? Mirrors reveals it to be a blue armor, which is worth a lot of money. I must admit, I really like the designs for the Makarine siblings. They're cartoonish and truthfully reminds me of a bit of the Heaters. They stand out and have a sort of a divine silhouette. Mirrors jump down to confront Pasta, their ringleader. Mirrors tells Pasta to throw over the gun, and he'll oblige. However, it explodes, spreading the train carts. After stopping one of the carts from falling off the track, Mirrors orders Draco to hold it while he catches up with the Makarine siblings once more. Unfortunately for him, they already begun their getaway. Goku stops the gang, but Vegeta is able to work out that the siblings wouldn't have been able to go too far because Mirrors sabotaged their ship. It's another time he is frustrated by being unable to observe Mirrors. Back at HQ, another alert comes through. This time, it's about Moro. They have a lock on his location, and Goku senses Moro through Chi. Finally, we get a good full shot of Moro. I must say, his menacing smile and horror silhouette is Donnie. Very peak character design. Moro knew Goku was sensing his chi, which makes Moro all the more creepy and more foreboding, especially considering the fact that Goku describes Moro's chi as terrifying. He likens it to a lot of people screaming in pain. It really sets the stage for Moro as the villain. I think even his presence as well is scary. Speaking of Moro, he is on board a ship and remarks that his magic hasn't returned to full power yet. Now the imprisoned Makarine siblings, especially Pasta, explain that Moro is most likely after the Namekian Dragon Balls, which Moro himself confirms. On new planet Namek, Moro is closing in. His ship is close enough for the Papalus to notice. But back at HQ, Goku and Vegeta decides to both use instant teleportation to the planet. Goku explains the situation to Maroon, and the Namekians scramble to gather the Dragon Ball and flee. I must admit, the entrance Moro makes here is so grand. He just calmly perks his ship and exits, talking about how good the fresh air is. He's not even seemingly bothered by either Vegeta or Goku. Anyway, he almost absorbs one Namekian, who didn't escape. Thankfully, they are rescued by Vegeta. Vegeta goes Super Saiyan. Surprisingly, he is unable to hand a single blow on Moro. Despite being locked up for 10 million years, Moro is sprite enough to dodge Vegeta. His goal was to exhaust Vegeta, because once the Saiyan loses his footing, Moro throws him into a rock side. Vegeta charged him again, this time losing Super Saiyan God form. He manages to land a blow, and Moro attempts to throw the landscape at Vegeta. However, the Saiyan destroys any debris sent at him. While he fights, Mira suggests that they head back to HQ as he believes Boo is their only chance to stop Moro. What's interesting is that every new piece of information about Moro just builds more and more to his Planet Eater title. He's a force to be reckoned with, and which is why it's a bit exciting to see him unleash his magic. Now no longer holding back, Moro unleashes an attack that involves the every energy from the planet he's on. The attack is so powerful enough to knock Vegeta off, killing as Moro relentlessly attacks him with it. Moro even catches Vegeta in the air with his technique. Unsurprisingly, Vegeta frees himself and Moro reveals that he can keep losing the planet's energy until it's used up. Therefore, Vegeta can't simply wear him down. Moro goes on to explain he is there because he wants the Dragon Balls. Vegeta once again narrowly avoids another one of Moro's attacks, stating that if he were at full power, Vegeta will be nothing but an insect. Vegeta then powers up into Super Saiyan Blue, getting equally as serious. The two continue to battle in panels that are quite frankly well so drawn, it's crazy. However, Vegeta is able to kick Moro into a body of water. Chanberry is a spectator to the fight like Goku and grows worried about this. Early, Moro rises from the water. It's a creepy scene, but it's made strange by Goku sensing something else. Once more, Moro absorbs the life force of the planet, including the Namekians Goku and Vegeta. Of course, this causes them to grow faint and weak. Vegeta stands strong in the face of this, though he tells Moro that even with his power-up, he is still no match for Super Saiyan Blue. The Saiyan makes several attempts but cannot transform. We then cut to Jocko and Miras, as it explains that Moro can absorb the life force of planets and the people on them without even touching them. This does seemingly change later on though. Moro grabs by the weakened Vegeta, literally by his face, and throws him. Goku charges at Moro, but the villain grabs his legs and tosses him into rocks. Really, Moro is just toying with them, it seems. He still has this formidable strength despite not being at full power. Goku is then caught by an energy attack by Moro. But suddenly Vegeta reappears and fires off a Gallic gun at Moro, but the wizard simply eats it. The very fact that Moro can consume attacks is foreboding as hell. Meanwhile, on Beerus' planet, he is calmly fishing until Whis tells him that the energy level has dramatically depleted on Namek. This certainly excites the god of destruction, but he ultimately decides not to intervene. Back on planet Namek, Goku finds himself unable to lose instant teleportation. The pair then narrowly dodges another attack by Moro. However, they are caught in the aftermath of it. The power is enough to leave a crater. Moro mocks the wounded Saiyan, stating that they are no match for him. He seemingly sucks the very essence out of Goku and Vegeta, having evolved into a more fit, younger form. Chanberry appears, swearing that he isn't going to abandon Moro. In order to appear like the lesser of a traitor, he tells Moro where the other Dragon Balls are, which is within the other Namekians' villages. They leave the near-dead Saiyans, who are then happened upon by Murun and Eska. On Earth, Bulma complains about Goku and Vegeta being gone for a week, and along with Mr. Satan head towards her sister's house in order to lose her communicator. Without much of surprise, we also learn that Boo has finally awakened. I must admit, this arc does a very good job of bringing Majin Buu back to the forefront, especially considering that he was asleep for so long. Not to mention, it's somewhat funny that the first thing that he does once awake is eat. Anyway, Bulma learns where Goku and Vegeta are. Being as strong-headed as she is, she requests a ship. But Jocko immediately says that they're breaking up and that he's out of minutes, hanging up on her. Back on Namek, Vegeta and Goku are being healed by Namekians. However, time has passed since their bout with Moro. Exactly 3 days' time, which Moro has used to attain 3 Dragon Balls, consequently destroying 3 villages. In fact, to no one's surprise, Moro is decimating another village nearby. He shows no mercy to the Namekians, throwing those who oppose him into a literal fire of wall. It's a scene that I really enjoy because it exists in harmony with his Banhoman Exig's face. The Namekians under Muri's village aren't without a plan, though the strongest of their warriors are combining to head to Tuzaburi. It's certainly a last stand against Moro, but it's all they can do because the two Saints still need to heal. Regardless, this power is still no match for Moro. He cuts down the combined powers warriors before they can even attack him. It's such a badass moment. Moro literally gives not one damn and kills their strongest without even a second thought. Truly, it lives in my head. Once again on Earth, both Kami and Piccolo sense something is wrong on their home planet. Piccolo even remarks on not being able to feel Goku or Vegeta's chi on Earth, which is more right than it could imagine. Moro has collected every Dragon Ball except one. He knows the final Dragon Ball is where they first landed. Both Goku and Vegeta sense Moro is coming, and Vegeta ponders if Moro can detect the Dragon Balls. They prepare to fight Moro once more, but himself, Moro, says the pair will finally die by his hand. Just as the forces of good and evil are just about to clash, Mirrors appears once more. He easily dodges Moro's attacks and is able to entrap him. Then, Majin Buu makes a rather awkward entrance. He has regained his memories, which infuriates Moro enough for him to break the bubble which he was held in. Clearly, some strong beef between the two. They fight, with Buu being able to simply go through the flames Moro creates, and he doesn't have his energy being zapped by the wizard. Buu is overcoming Moro, literally beating him into the ground, but Moro blows off Buu's head. Of course, he sprouts another one out. As Mirrors, Goku, and Vegeta watch, they comment on the fact that Buu now seems stronger, that his peculiar body is working to their advantage. Majin Buu continues on his onslaught against Moro, clearly wounding him in the process. However, the beatdown is paused because Purunga is summoned. This was Chanberry doing, who also kills Mu-Ring. Of course, Chanberry who loses the first wish to heal himself. His second wish is for Moro to return to full power. Granted, Moro did somewhat pressure him telepathically. Before anyone can fully register what happened, Moro uses his newfound strength to appear behind Chanberry and impale him. Truthfully, this was something that was bound to happen from the very first interaction. You just know he's expendable to Moro. Moro then gives his last wish and promptly leaves Goku and the Galactic Patrol. But Buu confirms that Moro is still on the planet, most likely planning to eat the planet. Thankfully, Majin Buu heals both Saiyans. Supreme Kai then takes his place, at least until Moro is defeated. Mirrors Eska and Jako aboard the Galactic Patrol ship in order to avoid Moro's energy drawing power. Meanwhile, Supreme Kai, Goku, and Vegeta go to confront Moro. Both Goku and Vegeta have powered up to Super Saiyan Blue. Due to his wish granted, Moro is able to easily avoid their attacks. Supreme Kai takes Moro on alone. However, they are so far away in the vacuum of space that neither of Goku or Vegeta can even see what's happening. It's clear that Supreme Kai is no match for Moro, as the wizard is able to absorb an energy blast from him. Supreme Kai then threatens to steal Moro's magic away again, but Moro calls it his bluff. Truth be told, he couldn't steal Moro if he wanted to. On the Galactic Patrol ship, Mirrors theorized that Supreme Kai cannot seal away Moro because the Bad Buu may have the god power. Back in his fight with Moro, Supreme Kai realizes when Goku destroyed Kid Buu, it also rendered him unable to lose his god powers as they were also destroyed. Then Mirrors offers to draw Moro close enough for the Saiyans to fight him. They're both confident that they can defeat the wizard with their Super Saiyan Blue forms. Once in space, with Supreme Kai and Moro, Mirrors distracts Moro long enough for Supreme Kai to instantly teleport himself and Moro back on planet Namek. Goku and Vegeta join them, with Goku boasting that Moro won't be escaping again. Back in the galactic prison, the doors to every cell disappears. Surely the work of Moro's last wish. The convicts begin to make their escape. This includes the Macarin siblings as well. Miris and Jaco are informed of the break, as Miro cinematically reveals the two sayings that he wished for this prison break. You gotta admit, he's a man with a mission. Suddenly, a ship comes carrying the escaped prisoners. One of them, Saganbun, reports directly to Moro. The wizard then commands the escaped convicts to attack Goku and Vegeta. Despite being outnumbered, both use their Super Saiyan Blue forms to take out the prisoners with Supreme Kai's help. Moro has other plans though. He begins to once again absorb their life forces, which causes Goku and Vegeta to revert to Super Saiyan God. Moro explains that his ultimate goal, while Goku has gone down to Super Saiyan 3, yet he still continues to fight. Unable to even go Super Saiyan anymore, Miris and Jaco teleport down to offer support. Eska also plans to heal any injuries. Knowing that they can't defeat Moro in the current state, the group decides to retreat back to HQ. Supreme Kai and Eska instantly teleport together. Meanwhile, Goku tries to convince Vegeta to teleport with him and Miris. Vegeta, being a warrior spirit guy and all, demands to stay and flies away from the duo. Vegeta catches up to the ship and commands Ictrio to take him to planet Yardrat. Finally, the time has come for more information about them. Moro absorbs the last of New Namek's essence. Sabangu noticed that the Galactic Patrol is gone, and Moro remarks that he'll let them live for now. But if they stand in his way again, he'll kill them. The wizard then asks Sabangu about any planets with sizable life forces. Of course, Sabangu indulges this information. It's important to note that Moro's appearance has changed once more. He now looks much younger. At HQ, Miris tells the king that they must begin to come up with a strategy. Moro is growing more and more powerful. Beyond that, the way his power is growing will spell total destruction. Now, there is some other bad news. Majin Buu is asleep again. Goku is optimistic that Vegeta has a plan despite the Saiyan not coming with him. Speaking of which, Vegeta plans to learn techniques from the Yardrats to defeat Moro. In the meantime, Moro's henchmen go to different planets causing mayhem and crime. Amongst them is a rather cruel escapee through 7-3 will kill, despite Moro needing people left alive in order to absorb them. However, Miris and the others are informed that Moro's ship is moving too quickly to get a lock on. Goku is somewhat suspicious that Miris is holding back and invites him to spar. Miris accepts, but despite losing Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan God, Goku is unable to land a hit on Miris. Transforming into Super Saiyan God does destroy the room after Goku asks Miris to train with him, and Miris accepts. We then learn that the Makurine siblings are headed to Earth for Blue Armorin, and that Vegeta has finally made it to the Yardrats' home world. Vegeta meets with the Yardrats and learns that their elder was the one who taught Goku instant teleportation. Not only this, but they can create copies of themselves. In fact, instant teleportation, splitting themselves, and gigantic innovation are all abilities they can possess through spiritual control, something Vegeta wants to learn. While Vegeta trains with the Yardrats, Goku trains with Miris. It's a double treat of Yardrat lore and those satisfying training sequence. But while they train, it's time to see what the other characters are up to. On the Sanctuary, Piccolo is still unable to telepathically contact any of the Namekians, which makes him fear the worst. His attention is instead drawn to the Earth, where the incredible sibling gang is trying to land. Really, Pasta notes the strangeness of Piccolo's abilities. Talk about biting off more than you can chew. Bulma informs Dende that Piccolo is getting drafted into the Galactic Patrol and once again contacts Jaco. Meanwhile, Piccolo gives the siblings some trouble. Despite being a 3v1, Dende works out that the scouts Moro sent are in fact who Piccolo is confronting. They're already ahead though, considering that the Makurine siblings plan to alert Moro about the planet. which they do. During all of this, Goku is training with mirrors. I must say, the panels are very well drawn. You can see the visual improvements of Toyo's art. Mirrors then tells Goku that the only way for him to achieve his goal is have to self-control over his emotions. He also explains that he knew why Goku was training and apologized for not telling him sooner. It feels like that he wants to reveal something, but Goku doesn't mind whatever it is. Mirrors wants to stop Moro as well, and that's all that matters. The two then continue their training within the Chamber of Space and Time. It's interesting to note that Mirrors himself says that he picked out an outer order to unleash his full power without praying eyes. It's very suspicious as we will see later on. The only warrior drafted besides Piccolo is Krillin. There is a bit of a sweet reunion between Eska and Dende. However, it feels sour once Jocko mentions to Piccolo that they're already the last remaining Namekians. Honestly, this tidbit makes Vegeta's attempt at saving the Namekian his redemption that more meaningful. With some haunting from Jocko, Pasta tells those gathered that the other group from Moro is on their way. This group, Yuba and Shibamorkika, and 7-3. But before he takes off, Jocko explains why it's so bad 7-3 is arriving. He's inorganic, a project of science. This is the very reason perhaps what makes him so dangerous. He's able to copy an abilities just by holding the person's neck. The effect lasts 30 minutes. Conveniently, the villains arrive after this explanation. Shimorika goes on to the kill to siblings, as Moro gives them as traitors. However, Piccolo stops him. 7-3 doesn't take it too kindly to this, copies Piccolo's special beam cannon and fires it right at the Namekian. Piccolo manages to dodge, but the attack still does some damage to the sanctuary. While Piccolo goes after a falling Jocko, Krillin is drawn into a fight with Yuba. Piccolo fights 7-3, who clearly has copied all of his abilities. It's like fighting his own clone. Beyond his innate power to copy abilities, 7-3 also has unlimited stamina. Clearly, he is a match for Piccolo. His strength is enough for Piccolo to doubt that he'll survive 30 minutes. Thankfully, Gohan arrives. Back in his training, Goku mirrors decides to replicate the life or death situation of the manifestation of Ultra Instinct. I will say as much as I like the training arc, but it does feel a bit fast for Goku to be attempting to master this form. Gohan goes head to head with 7-3, but 7-3 isn't going to quit so easily. He makes himself bigger, but Gohan is able to field the giant. Really helps that 7-3 is losing the analog of Piccolo's powers, someone Gohan is familiar with. That being said, 7-3 switches up tactics and goes after Gohan's abilities instead. However, Piccolo's stolen powers wear off. Gohan attempts to finish him, but 7-3 loses one of the powers that he has in stock, that of Moro. Jocko then explained 7-3 can store 3 sets of powers at a time. Bad news considering that Moro's magic allows him to literally absorb life forces. From their ship, Moro and Sabango observes the battle. The wizard then decides to let Goku and Vegeta continue their training in order to get more energy from them. Also, he decides for Sabango henchmen to retreat. Jocko's quick thinking earns the group 2 months, which also means Goku will train for 2 months as well. But in the Chamber of Space and Time, this means Goku has 6 months. Elsewhere, Whis and the Grand Priest begin to discuss Mirrors. We have now entered Mirrors' backstory. He is a training angel who was sent to Universe 7. Why? To learn and broaden his perspective. Whis offers to bring him back, which the Grand Priest agrees to. Back on the Yonder's planet, Vegeta has mastered his spirit power better than Goku's, at least according to Elder Paybara. But before Vegeta can learn any techniques, the planet is attacked by Moro's men. Obviously, Vegeta goes to confront them and surprisingly learns that he has only grown stronger since arriving. His strength is enough now that Vegeta can easily knock out two men from Moro's gang. In response, Yuzun transforms. His new form isn't spectacular by any means. He resembles a reptile but has grown in size. They battle with Yuzun, actually throwing a building at Vegeta, which the Saiyan effortlessly tosses to the side. Yuzun gloats about Moro's planning to consume the Earth, and seems to escape just before being killed by the hardened building that he has just thrown before. Hearing word about what happened, Moro decides to stock up on more energy, most likely taking the Saiyan's growth into consideration. Meanwhile, Whis appears before Goku and Beerus. Not only this, but he exposes Beerus' angel status. We also learn what happens when an angel breaks their own law. They're eradicated, gone, no trace left. Whis then takes Beerus back with him as he promised. Both the Galactic Patrol and the Dragon Team, without Goku and Vegeta of course, have gathered on Earth. Ships arrive with convicts who plan to steal treasure and wealth before Moro dusts the planet. While everyone splits up, Galactic Patrol includes Piccolo and Gohan stay behind to face the wizard. However, they are ambushed by 7-3 who copies their powers. 7-3 then shoots off a special beam cannon, but Gohan loses a shield to stop it. Piccolo loses his Light of Death to send it at 7-3, despite losing half of his arm. 7-3 regenerates it and switches to losing Gohan's abilities. Both Gohan and Piccolo work together, but before 7-3 can use Moro's powers, he, along with Shimamura Rika, is kicked in the face. By whom, may you ask? Android 17 and 18. Now with the current state of his minions, Moro decides to go down to Earth by himself. Meanwhile, Vegeta continues to train until the very last moment, and Goku is somewhat lost. At long last, Goku arrives. His first order of business involves by helping put away the escaped convicts. Meanwhile, Moro watches Gohan and Piccolo fight with Sambambo from afar. We then see Goku attack Sambambo so fast neither Piccolo or Gohan can see it. Moro watches as Goku continues to fight the stubborn Sambambo. In fact, the Saiyan shows off his Super Saiyan Blue form. Moro goes on to even take the stakes by granting Sambambo even more power. Does this guy really need it? Goku beats him just half about to death, and Sambambo just keeps getting back up again. That being said, the power of Sambambo received is too much and he dies from it. Then Goku challenges Moro and unveils his Ultra Instinct sign. Moro comments on Goku's form, stating that that's a divine technique. With this faithful battle now underway, Goku starts off with a barrage of attacks. All Moro can do is block them. Despite Goku mastering Ultra Instinct, the fight cannot be ignored. Completely focused, Goku then charges Moro. Though the wizard isn't stumped forever, he immobilizes Goku and kicks the Saiyan away. While they fight, Goku advises Piccolo and Gohan to retreat. Really, the best option considering how powerful and destructive Moro magic really is. The pair take their fight to the sky at one point, which looks fantastic. I'm not one for aerial combat, but Toyo does an excellent job here. However, both seem equally matched. Most likely realizing this, Moro attempts to absorb Goku's energy. The Saiyan is moving too fast for this. Their fight is being watched by Whis and Beerus on Beerus' planet, with Whis commending Beerus for training Goku so well. Unsurprisingly, Moro powers up again. Considering that this happened before him, it's getting a bit old having these convenient plot points that extends his fight with Goku. Moro's new strength allows him to literally ambush Goku, shocking him out of his form. He then tosses the Saiyan into rocks. Both competitors unleash their full power. The force is enough for their clashing auras to practically take over the scenery. Their fight ramps up intensely, both opponents at their best. Regardless, Miras is concerned for Goku. His stamina is an infinity. Goku doesn't seem to make enough leadways against Moro, though he knocks the wizard around, but Moro continuously gets up. Elsewhere, Vegeta asks the Yardra's elder to teach him instant teleportation in order for him to get to Goku and Moro. Granted, it would be a good time for Vegeta to show up as Goku begins to show signs of slowing down. And yet, Goku continues to push himself. Miras and Whis continue to watch, and Whis has to remind Miras once more that they cannot intervene. The creation and destruction of planets is normal. It's a cycle. That being said, Goku has now lost his Ultra Instinct aura. Suddenly, both Android 17 and 18 rejoin the fight. Vegeta is also on his way, considering that he has now mastered instant teleportation. Once on Earth, Vegeta challenges Moro. He transforms into Super Saiyan God evolution. Despite his power-up, Moro insists that Vegeta is still no match for him. In fact, he kicks Vegeta away like he's nothing. Moro's magic has truly become center stage for this bout. Nonetheless, Vegeta doesn't give up, even if Moro slams him face first into the ground. From Vegeta himself, we learn that his new ability is Force Spirit Fission. This technique frees the stored energy that Moro had, which makes him old once more. While they fight, Vegeta mocks the older and slower, weaker Moro. It's important to note that in losing the Force Spirit Fission ability, Vegeta has resurrected an unknown number of Namekians, truly living up to the redemption he so badly wanted. Vegeta prepares to kill Moro, but the wizard still has some magic up his sleeves. With his back against the wall, Moro absorbs 7-3. This once again changes his appearance for the 10th time. I must admit, like I said before, it still feels convenient for the plot somehow, not to mention this design feels like too much of a callback to Cell. Powered up beyond belief, Moro grabs the frenzied Vegeta and copies his abilities. He then beats the tired Saiyan without mercy, even going as far to fire a Big Bang attack at Vegeta. Seeing the Dard Strats Earth's warriors are facing, Dende flies down to heal them, which would be rather helpful considering Goku gets impaled through the chest by Moro. It's a rather horrific thing, if not visceral moment. This very action sets the tone for how bad things are going to get. In fact, Moro is able to concern the plan Dende has. At every turn, the heroes are getting absolutely the worst luck. Even Piccolo takes heavy damage from Moro. Thankfully, Miras shows up. It appears he has found a loophole in Angel Law, confirming that he is there to finish up Goku's training. While Miras fights, Dende heals Goku and everyone else. Once awakened, Goku heads off to Moro and Miras again. He joins Miras, telling him to stand down. Goku then powers up to once again fight Moro. To even the fight, Miras destroys the weird orbs on Moro's hand. Not only this, but he shatters Moro's head gem and promptly disappears as Whis foretold. With newfound resolve, he tells Moro that it is now his job to defeat him. Finally, Goku unleashes Ultra Instinct Perfect. Though as cool as it is, I must admit it's a bit of a downfall for Goku to master it so quickly. Anyhow, Moro is terrified of his new Goku form. It's the first time he's seemingly out of his element. Moro attacks Goku with a barrage, but in this form, Goku easily outclasses him. He dodges the wizard's hits like they're nothing. Truly, Goku has fulfilled the requirement of acting totally on instinct. Unfortunately, getting whooped by Goku only fuels Moro more. He pushes himself even more. Oddly enough, Goku decides to continue fighting Moro as a human, not as a Galactic Patrol officer. As we near the end, we also come to the plot point that is bizarre to say at least. Despite Moro being this big bad, this literal planet eater, Goku offers a sensu bean to him. He tells Moro to eat them to get his stamina back and go back to a prison. All this if Goku spares him. But Moro is still a scumbag, so he attacks Goku right after eating the sensu bean. However, Goku still tries to reason with him, saying that Moro is the strongest he faced without training. Just imagine how strong Moro could be if he did train. He even offers to fight Moro again if he does. Still desperate, Moro attaches the arm that had Mirror's powers. He then places the gem on his forehead, completing his powers of Mirror's. The two clash, the force of which causes an explosion. They then fight in the air. However, the angel power within Moro may be too much for his own body. He puffs up with such an unnatural manner. Just as Goku is about to finish him off, Moro merges with the planet. Due to his fusion, Moro begins to absorb the life force on the planet Earth. Goku takes on a now planetary Moro. However, Whis offers up a possible solution. The plan? Shatter Moro's forehead crystal, which would defeat him. This isn't a feat easily done though. Goku makes it almost to the gem but is ensnared by Moro. However, everyone begins to send their chi to Goku as he is having his energy drained by Moro. Not only it is the Dragon Team that helps, but those on the sanctuary as well. Meanwhile, Jaco seeks out Majin Buu, but he doesn't really need to do that, as Divine Chi is sent to Goku thanks to Oob. This boost proves to be enough for Goku to smash Moro's crystal, ending it all. In celebration, a giant feast is held at Mr. Satan's home. The lives of those on New Namek were also restored with the help of the Dragon Balls. While at the medal giving ceremony, it is revealed that Mirror survived, albeit now no longer an angel. The arc does end on a bit of an ominous note. We see Granola happening upon a now recovering 7-3. And that is all for this video. Follow us on Twitter at DBSHype and Instagram at DBHype1 for daily Dragon Ball news, updates, and awesome content. I'm your host, Vro, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace!